Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wednesday show here on Vegas Tips and Tricks. It is December the 1st. It's actually 12121 today. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get this video released at exactly 1:21:21 tomorrow afternoon. Hey everybody, welcome to a very special episode of the Wednesday show, where we finally just completely give up providing any useful content whatsoever, and we reach out to you, the viewers, both of you, for a very special episode, which I'm calling Ask You Anything. It's a tradition in sort of online media and new media. I think it came out of the Reddit setup. It's news to me. I thought that was just a place to watch dirty clips. But anyway, yeah. So, you're supposed to be able to ask me anything, and, I'm a celebrity and stuff, so I'm going to tell you everything. But today's show, I thought I was going to ask you, the viewer, anything, and review a few ideas that I have. Over the past, 10, 15 years, my travel adventures have been largely confined to two places, one of which you can probably guess. Yes, that's Las Vegas, Nevada, and the environs around there. In fact, the last time I really sort of went anywhere else, I guess, I did travel to, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I traveled anywhere else. Except for the visits that I make several times a year, usually up to Nebraska, the two states that lie next to one another in the, alphabetically, and entered the Union at around the same time as well. It's quite mystical, really. But no, it's quite likely over the next half a dozen years or so, give or take, that I'll probably be moving out towards the Nevada area. Probably not to Las Vegas directly, but to an area where it's just a short drive away. And it's very hard to say as far as the family is concerned, but primarily my reason for visiting Nebraska so frequently has always been to check in for a few days with my parents. And at this point, my parents is my mom, who is doing very, very well, but obviously is up there in years, and we don't know, hopefully she has another 40 or 50 years left. Oh my God. She heard me say that, she would scream and tell me, no. If she's got 40 years left, she's going to be doing some of them without me. That's all I'm going to say. But in other words, it's quite likely that my sort of vacation time and, of course, my retirement years, which are coming up a few years beyond that, we think, will not necessarily be sort of focused on visiting Nebraska 4 times a year, or taking a week, more or less, to go to Vegas 2-3 times a year. If I want to go to Vegas, I just take a couple of days, I drive up, see what's going on, check in with all the cool kids that are in town for whatever reason, and I'm done. I don't have to make a big production out of it. So I'm looking at trying to create a kind of bucket list of sorts of other travel destinations as I enter my golden years, or my rusted over years, as the case may be. So I am asking you for suggestions of places to go. Now, I'm probably not going to be backpacking through the Gobi Desert, nor am I likely to be living with a tribe in the Amazon, or exploring malaria-infested jungles in deepest Africa. Okay, so keep those things in mind. I prefer my travel destinations to involve at least somewhat luxurious hotels, or at least ones with a bathtub and cable. So Growing up, I traveled a lot, and by traveled a lot, I don't mean as a young boy I ran away from home and hitchhiked across the country. But as many of you may know, we, in the family, which was just myself, my mother, and my father, we traveled around the country. At least once a year, we took a little family vacation. And so I have seen over my lifetime much of the Western United States. And I supplemented that with the trips that I've made since then, some of which I've described in some of my recent podcasts, which you'll want to check out if you want to hear more about my Vegas memories. Hey, maybe I'll put another one of those links in the show notes below. So I kind of know the West Coast. I have not visited ever the state of Oregon, nor Alaska or Hawaii. So those are obviously on the table if anyone thinks those are great travel destinations. And there's a lot of places that I haven't been in quite some time. We visited Montana. I think I was probably 7 or 8 years old. Went all the way up to the north where the Glacier National Park is, which is quite beautiful. So that might be a place to return to. I don't know. So just because I may have been there doesn't mean you can't sort of add it to the list. I've also been through parts of the Midwest, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Indiana. Not really Ohio to speak of. In Michigan, mostly it was the Upper Peninsula of Michigan that I visited. And then a few sort of random places out to the East Coast. Almost nothing, to be perfectly honest. I visited Washington, D.C. as a schoolboy, which was pretty cool. I would definitely return. And I wouldn't mind returning to some of the cities that I've enjoyed over the years outside of Las Vegas, Chicago and San Francisco, Seattle, those sorts of places at some point as well. But it's not. We're not just sort of narrowing this down to the United States. I'd be curious about suggestions of other first world activities that are out there. I would like to go to Canada. I know a lot of people in Canada, so I could visit them, sort of. The UK, Europe is interesting to me. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for travel suggestions that I can put on my bucket list and try to visit over the next 10, 20 years of my life, depending upon how things go. Obviously, and we talked about this a little bit in Vegas Weekly on Saturday. Obviously, a casino destination is fun, but I don't require gambling to be happy or prosperous. Oh, that's a slot machine, isn't it? I don't require those sorts of quick hits to enjoy myself. But obviously, if there's gambling destination nearby, that could be fun. So it's definitely something worth throwing in. But, these sorts of tropical resorts and things like that are also good. And I know we have a number of people who do watch the show who travel frequently or have traveled more widely, shall we say, than I. So I am seeking your advice on travel destinations. I will write them all down and put them on a list and do some research. And let you know some of the places that I thought would be perhaps ideal for me, or at least places that I'm looking at visiting sometime really soon. So there you go. Was going to do another taste test today, but there was such universal revulsion at my frozen food that I will delay it for a while, at least until next week. I'm just doing this thing where I sip on coffee because it makes it look like we have like a morning show together. Well, in the news today, or in the weather today, it's supposed to be like 70 degrees on Thursday, which is nice, except this is Kansas and it's December. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But hey, I'm here enjoying some global warming, and I hope that you're enjoying it too. I hope your island is not sinking into the ocean or anything like that. All right, well, we're going to wrap up the show today, so I need lots of comments, lots of feedback from you, the viewers. And hey, if I get some good advice, we may do more asking you anything. And we'll do something next week for the Wednesday show. Getting close to the December live stream, which we're going to be handing out my very first vlogging awards. So you won't want to miss that. All right, until I see you all this weekend on Vegas Weekly, I hope you have a great, lucky, and healthy week. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.